Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Hola a todos, bienvenidos de nuevo a mi canal. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 90-day rule and why you should know and understand it. As you know, there's two primary types of visas that you can use to enter the United States: non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas. There are, of course, dual intent visas, and we will talk about those a little bit later in this video. So non-immigrant visas are the kinds of visas that a lot of people use to come to the United States to travel, study, or do short-term business. An immigrant visa is also known as a green card, which allows you to stay in the United States as a basically permanent resident with almost all the same rights as a US citizen and eventually pursue naturalization. And as you may know, different types of visas have different conditions under which you are able to continue to remain in the United States, either as a student or as a tourist, or for any other reasons such as short-term humanitarian reasons, etc., etc. The 90-day rule is very important to know and understand so that you don't get in a lot of legal trouble with the immigration, which can cause you a lot of headache in the future. When you apply for a non-immigrant visa, you basically sign a contract stating that you are only planning to be in the United States temporarily and that you're not planning to immigrate to the US. The 90-day rule states that if you engage in any kind of immigrant activity within the 90 days of you arriving to the United States, this will be considered a willful misrepresentation of your intent and can get you in a lot of legal trouble. It can get your visa revoked, you can get deported, and even permanently banned from entering the United States. So, what kind of immigrant activities are we talking about here? It applies to the following situations. 1. Marrying a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident and taking up residence in the United States. 2. Working without proper work authorization. 3. Enrolling in any kind of schooling or program of study, such as at a college or university, without having a proper student visa. And 4. Engaging in any other kind of immigrant activities or also attempting to change your status, such as, for example, applying for adjustment of status, also known as applying for a green card. So doing any of these things in general without a proper authorization first can result in a lot of legal trouble. Though technically the 90-day rule doesn't apply to everyone. For example, the 90-day rule technically doesn't apply to immediate relatives of US citizens, such as spouses, unmarried children under 21, and parents of US citizens. However, when it comes to immigration, what is said on paper and what is done in practice is often not the same. And any immigration attorney will tell you that waiting at least 3 months before engaging in any kind of activities that can violate the 90-day rule is often a better course of action, and it is always better to stay on the side of caution. Another exception applies to people with dual intent visas. Dual intent visas are the kinds of visas that may eventually cause a person end up staying in the United States as a permanent resident with proper sponsorship and petitions submitted on their behalf. These include H-1B visas, L-1 and O-1 visas. And finally, let's talk about two important things to understand about the 90-day rules. The first thing is that the 90 days begin count off as soon as you step foot on the US soil, from the time you have arrived in the United States port of entry, as indicated on your travel history, also known as Form I-94. You can easily obtain your travel departure record if you go to the Customs Border Patrol site where you can obtain your I-94 using your name, birthday, and passport number. And the second thing to remember is that 90 days begin count off with your most recent arrival to the United States, meaning that you cannot combine different times that you have been present in the United States in the past to kind of sum it up to 90 days total. For example, if you came to the United States on a tourist visa some time ago and you stayed for about 60 days, and then you went back to your home country, and after some time you decided to come back to the United States and stayed 30 more days. Even though total number of days that you have been present in the United States is 90, because the 90-day rule begins with your most recent entry to the US, because your most recent entry to the US was 30 days ago, you would have to wait additional 60 days before you're able to proceed with any kind of immigrant activity. With all of that said, please keep in mind that when it comes to changing your status from non-immigrant to immigrant, according to the immigration officials, you better have a good reason for why that became the case. That is why immigration requires so much paperwork and so much proof of reasoning why you had to remain in the United States and pursue an immigrant route. So I hope that you found this video useful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. I have a lot of immigration content on this channel, so I highly suggest that you go and look through the different playlists that I have. So I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, y nos vemos en mis próximos videos. Adiós!